You think you know your dog? Get ready to discover you've been completely wrong your whole life. Everyone who has a dog at home swears they understand the animal. He's wagging his tail. He's happy. He growled. He's angry. He's licking me because he loves me. Sounds simple, right? Sounds obvious. Sounds like anyone with two eyes in their head can read a dog without any effort at all. But what science has discovered in recent decades about canine behavior is so surprising. So far beyond what was expected, that researchers around the world had to revise everything they thought they knew about these animals. And the most astonishing part of all, most owners still know none of this today. You are about to discover 7 behaviors of your dog that will forever change the way you look at him. And fair warning, after reading this, you will never be able to ignore what he is trying to tell you again. ****** 1. When he tilts his head too, beside it is not cuteness. It is pure intelligence, running at full speed, *****. Everyone has seen that scene. You make a strange sound, ask a question, and the dog tilts his head to the side as if he were the most adorable creature on the planet. The internet is full of videos like this, and people comment, "Aw, so cute, how adorable," as if it were just a pretty gesture with no deeper meaning behind it. But researchers at ETV's Lorand University in Hungary discovered something that completely dismantled that superficial reading. When a dog tilts his head, he is actively processing human language. He is trying to identify words he knows within the sentence you just said. He is, literally, paying attention to your vocabulary. The study showed that dogs with a richer vocabulary of recognized words tilted their heads far more frequently than those who had less exposure to specific commands and words. This means that seemingly silly gesture is actually the visual signal of a brain working hard to understand you. He is not performing for the camera. He is trying, with every bit of strength he has, to decode what you are saying. It is the canine equivalent of squinting to read a distant sign. The next time he tilts that little head, look deep into his eyes and realize there is someone genuinely in there, trying to reach you. ***2. He does not wag his tail because he is happy. He wags his tail to consciously manipulate you. This one is going to sting. Tail wagging is probably the most misunderstood behavior in the entire history of the relationship between humans and dogs. For centuries, all of humanity believed something simple: wagging tail equals happiness. But a study published in the scientific journal Current Biology turned that concept completely upside down in a way nobody saw coming. Researchers discovered that the direction in which a dog wags his tail carries entirely different meanings. When he wags more toward his right side, he is feeling positive emotions, usually associated with the presence of his owner or someone familiar. When he wags more toward his left side, he is feeling something negative, such as anxiety or threat. But what truly alarmed the scientists was another finding. Dogs wag their tails consciously in situations where they want something from you, even when they are not necessarily happy. They learned, over millennia of living alongside humans, that tail wagging produces a positive response in people. They use it deliberately. Your dog looks at you with that tail vibrating and knows exactly what he is doing. He is not simply expressing an emotion, he is influencing you to get what he wants. Saying he manipulates you sounds harsh, but science agrees. That is precisely what it is. ***3. When he destroys your house while you are away, he is not angry at you. He is terrified. You came home after a day of work and found the couch destroyed, the trash scattered across the living room, the rug torn in half. The most common reaction is to think the dog got bored, or worse, that he got angry because you left him alone. Many people even believe he did it on purpose to get revenge. This is one of the most mistaken and most damaging interpretations that exists in the relationship between humans and dogs. What behavioral science has demonstrated beyond any doubt is that the destruction caused by dogs left alone at home is, in nearly 100% of cases, a manifestation of severe separation anxiety. It is not anger. It is not boredom. It is not revenge. It is panic. The animal's nervous system collapses when the attachment figure, which is you, disappears. Cortisol, the stress hormone, spikes in his body to levels that would be comparable to an acute anxiety attack in humans. The destruction he causes is a desperate attempt to release that unbearable internal tension. Some dogs howl for hours. Others self-mutilate. Others simply scratch at the door until they bleed, trying to get to wherever you went. When you come home and find the chaos, your dog is not punishing you. He is telling you, in the only way he knows how, just how much he suffered while you were gone. ***4. He sniffs your groin for a scientific reason far more complex than you can imagine. Everyone has been through this situation. You arrive at someone's house who has a dog, and before you can even say hello, the animal has already pushed his snout into places you would rather he did not go. It is embarrassing. It is strange, and the explanation everyone gives is, he is curious or he has no manners. Neither of those answers comes close to reality. A dog's nose contains between 200 and 300 million olfactory receptors. The human nose has approximately 6 million. The area of the canine brain dedicated to analyzing smells is 40 times larger, proportionally, than ours. When a dog sniffs a person's groin, armpits, or any other area of intense scent on a human, he is performing a complete biochemical reading of that individual. He detects hormone levels, emotional state, whether the person is sick, whether they are pregnant, whether they are afraid, whether they are ovulating, whether they have been under stress recently. In seconds, he knows more about that person's physical and emotional condition than any doctor could discover in a quick consultation. It is not random curiosity. It is a full-body scan. Dogs trained to detect cancer use exactly this ability to identify, with startling accuracy, cancerous cells in a patient's breath or urine. What looks like rude behavior is, in fact, one of the most sophisticated diagnostic tools nature has ever created. Asterisk asterisk. 5. He eats feces because his instinct is far older than your disgust. Asterisk asterisk. This is the behavior that divides people the most. Half of all owners fall into despair when they see their dog eating feces, whether his own or from other animals. The first reaction is absolute revulsion, followed by an anguished question, what is wrong with him? The most honest answer possible is, nothing. Absolutely nothing. The behavior has a scientific name, coprophagia, and is present in several species of mammals. In the case of dogs, the explanations are multiple and all of them have solid biological grounding. Females who have just given birth consume their puppies' feces out of survival instinct. In nature, the smell of feces attracts predators. Eliminating the olfactory trail is a matter of protecting the litter. In domestic dogs, this instinct remains active, even with no real threat present. In other cases, coprophagia is linked to deficiencies in specific nutrients, especially digestive enzymes and B-complex vitamins. The animal's body recognizes that certain substances still present in the feces have nutritional value. It goes looking for them. There is also a scientific line of thought suggesting that dogs living in environments with excessive punishment may eat feces to destroy the evidence and avoid being reprimanded, which is, it must be said, one of the most disturbing things science has ever discovered about how fear can shape an animal's behavior. Asterisk 6. He smells your scent when you are away, and it keeps him emotionally stable. Asterisk. Here we arrive at one of the most recent and most exciting fields of canine behavioral science research. A study published in 2019 by researcher Alexandra Horowitz of the Dog Cognition Laboratory at Columbia University in the United States investigated what happens in a dog's brain when he is home alone and has access to objects carrying his owner's scent. The results were heartbreaking for anyone who loves animals. The presence of items with your scent, a worn t-shirt, a pillow, a pair of socks, activates in dogs the region of the brain associated with the anticipation of reward. In other words, your smell makes his brain understand that you might show up at any moment. It measurably reduces cortisol levels. It lowers his heart rate. It decreases destructive behaviors. Simply because he can smell you. This means that when your dog steals your clothes to sleep next to them, he is not being stubborn or pathologically needy. He is using a sophisticated emotional tool to regulate his own internal state in your absence. He has developed an emotional survival strategy built around your scent. If that is not love transformed into behavior, then love does not exist. He looks into your eyes to synchronize his heart with yours. This is the last behavior on this list, and, without any doubt, the most powerful of all. When your dog stares directly into your eyes for a few seconds, something happens inside both of your bodies that science was only able to confirm relatively recently. A study published in the journal Science in 2015 by Japanese researcher Miho Nagasawa measured levels of oxytocin, the hormone of emotional bonding and trust, in both dogs and their owners before and after moments of prolonged mutual eye contact. The results surprised even the researchers themselves. On both sides, in both the human and the dog,